as MBSS staff to see which type of leaders you are going to promote in your various issues. Plus, they have a role to play in the development of education within children. That's one. And number two, criteria to follow, which I believe the Deputy Director for the Teaching Service Commission is here to explain to us. Actually, these are procedures you need to follow to become substantive deputy head teacher as well as head teacher. There are numerous issues surrounding about teacher management, the effectiveness, the recruitment, and also teachers' license. We do normally discuss all these issues in our sector meeting within the education stakeholders with your colleague ministry. I'm showing you that we as quality assurance officers as well as management, we are here to complement the efforts of government. That is why we are giving schools supporting supervision. What I do, I want to stop here. I want to thank you very much for giving me the audience to make a short statement. Thank you.
Thank you, our chairman of directors. He highlighted the duties of school leaders. What makes us school leaders is all entrenched in effective and efficient records management. So if you want to be a school leader that should be reckoned with, the weapon you are required to have is you are efficient and you are effective in managing your records. That alone stands to defend you at any given time. Mr. Chairman here also said they as the NDSSC will be very watchful on the type of people they are going to promote. So this is a challenge to us as a mission and a challenge to you as leaders. Mr. Inspector Sir, in some cases we may be having people that, cause problems for us. But administratively, we tend to take some people and give them administrative positions to see if they will act better. If they do not, then we will take our stance. So we want to assure you that you love our schools, but we love our schools most. Because if the school falls, the manager will be called upon. And so we want to assure you that we will be very, very selective in ensuring that we give positions to those that deserve them. You also talk on issues on teachers' management. Well, the Kerma is here today. He is going to address that. So we want to thank you very much and promise our support and cooperation. For those that do not keep records, us as management will discuss that.
Service and set up a payout account. Don't worry, you can use the same bank and payment info that you used today. Because you can earn with more content types, you should experiment with videos, reels.
Now we want to go further. We discussed a lot. We have had a lot of. We are not just here as spectators.
This is my pizza. Marina Mason. This is my pizza. Marina Mason. So guys, we are here at the FLMB Secondary School, mile 91, Yoni Chiefdom. So we have a meeting of all head teachers in this, for all head teachers in this chiefdom, yeah. Mamila, Yoni Mabanta, and I forgot the other one. So this is the SLMB school compound. Everybody's inside. I'm here to just explain things to you because I'm just showing you people sitting and you're not getting what they are saying. So I came outside. So head teachers, principals from villages, yeah, all the villages that surround the Three Sisters Chiefdom. So they are here, and the DDTSC Teaching Service Commission is here to talk on promotions for teachers. Really easy. It's not easy for the teaching field because teachers are going through a lot, guys. We are just volunteering. As for us, we've been in this teaching field for years now, nothing to show for it, no recruitment, and we have all our qualifications, but no, we are not fortunate to be recruited, guys. So we are here to listen to what they are saying, and we too, we highlight our own problems that we are going through in the classrooms. So guys, just enjoy. Comment down below where are you watching from and what's your take on this. Right, it's been a while I came live, yeah, more than a year. So I've started to come live, and I'll be coming every day, even in our school activities. I have a lot to update you guys about. All right, so let me turn the camera.
And for all other related matters. This quotation you will find in the Sierra Leone Teaching Service Commission Act of 2011. What do we do? The scope of our work is working with a number of things.
How to know you don't write and sign for? So you sign anyhow.
We maintain and update an annual register of licensed teachers and teachers in every district and publish it in the Gazette. Bear this in mind, please. We maintain and update. This is what is in the law. We maintain and update annually a register of all licensed teachers and teachers and publish that register in the Gazette. So it's not every teacher that is supposed to be in the classroom. We are supposed to update that teacher and have a register of those teachers. We vet all teacher qualification and determine their equivalence based on their qualifications. We advise the minister on pre-service trainings. The TSC is here to recruit, promote, host, transfer, dismiss teachers in government and government-assisted schools. Please take note of this. The Teaching Service Commission is here to recruit, promote, host, transfer, dismiss teachers in government and government-assisted schools. We develop and review standards and codes of professional ethics. They should know the professional standards and the teaching service, the TSC code of conduct. We define the rights and obligations of teachers in relation to employees and management in their institutions where they serve. Sometimes there are talks between managers and their teachers. We try to resolve these issues. And then we define the rights and obligations of school management in relation to employers. That is basically among the things we do. The four core mandates of the TSC, four things that are of the core mandates, is registration and license. And we do not register and license Okada riders. It is
registration and license of teachers. We do teacher management. When we say teacher management, everything that happens to a teacher, from the time you are recruited, right until the time you retire, it falls within the mandate of the TSC. Therefore, means that if you are recruited, you have to go to, you have to get a promotion, you have to be reassessed, you have to be deployed, you have to be deployed to a school. Everything, this is the core mandate of the TSC, teacher management. And then, we are there for development and performance. All of the trainings we call in from time to time to attend, that is part of development and performance. And then we do teacher-employer relations. Most of the times, you will hear people coming with complaints. Managers complaining teachers, teachers complaining managers and proprietors. All of this falls under teacher-employer relations. We deal with these issues. Well, the teacher management for TSC, this is all what I've explained. Recruitment, teachers, dismissal, enhancing service benefits, leave, assessment of teacher salary, managing teachers, all of that is just part of the role.
Are they live? Not so. Video are they live? Are they?
Appointments, transfers, and promotions.
Are they live? Oh.
This is now made as a chapter on its own in the 2023 Basic and Senior Secondary Act. What does it say? The Basic and Senior Secondary Act of 2023, it says, the appointment of head teachers, deputy head teachers, teachers, principal, vice principal, and senior teachers shall be in conformity with the Sierra Leone Teaching Service Commission Act. This is found in section 57(1) of the 2023 Education Act, the Basic and Senior Secondary Education Act. It continues to say, the rotation or upward mobility, in other words, the growth of the teacher from the time you are a teacher until the time you become from the time you are a new teacher to a proficient teacher to an outstanding teacher, what you call senior teacher. The growth, the rotation and upward mobility of the teacher, head teacher, principal or teacher in government and government assisted schools shall be in accordance with the Teaching Service Commission Act, the Teaching Service Commission Act. This is also found in section 57(3) of the Education Act of 2023. This presentation is going to cover a lot of your questions and concerns. That's why I was particular about first having you to make your statement. What does this slide say again on appointments? It says, a person shall not be employed as a permanent full-time teacher in a school unless that person holds a professional certificate and a license issued by the Sierra Leone Teaching Service Commission. This is a law by an act of parliament in the Basic and Senior Secondary Act. You will find it in section 58(1) of the Basic and Senior Secondary Act of 2023. It says, nobody shall be recruited as a permanent teacher if you do not hold, first of all, a certificate from a technical institute issued by the Teaching Service Commission. It means license is becoming a bedrock in your profession. If you have not known that before, know it, accept it, and deal with it. There is no two way about it. There is no two way about it. When you have something you have to confront, and you know it's going to be your responsibility, confront it head on. I'm actually like saying what they say there. We are doing, the TSC is doing transfers, promotions, professional development, suspension and dismissal of teachers. It shall be in accordance with the Sierra Leone Teaching Service Commission's regulations, and it it is also found, we also find this one in section 58(2) of the Education Act of 2023. Where the performance of head teachers and principals in order 3 of section 35 Education Act of 2004. The 2004 Education Act is obsolete. The 2023 Act has eroded a good portion of the 2004 Education Act. But because the 2011 Act of the TSC and the 2023 has not spelled out all of the performance and appraisal protocols, we are still leaning on what we had in section 3 of section 35 of the Education Act of 2004 until we review it. And this is also found in section 9(2) of the Education Act. But what are we saying? Why are we here? Everybody is talking, almost everybody is concerned about the high prevalence and the prolonged business of teachers acting as head teachers, acting principal, acting vice principal. We are done with that. But there is a criteria, because we will be growing the business of recruitment of head teachers or school leaders. We are just calling them school leaders generally. Whether it's in preschool, primary school, secondary school, you're all school leaders. So we have developed, based on this mandate, Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, the Teaching Service Commission, World Bank, and other development partners sat together and developed a leadership guidelines for every school with a timeline, because we want to ensure that this woo and cry for acting positions become a business of the past. How are we going to do it? Before I go into this, Mr. President, please read for me a portion that tells you who wants to become a school leader, or that tells you who is thinking that because I am a school leader, I do not need a license. Because I am a boss, I do not need a license. Let me tell you, about 2 months ago, I was in Zambia and South Africa. I went there to do a comparative analysis of their own teacher management. How are they managing teachers? How are they dealing with magnitude of teachers? In that country, they have 115,000 teachers in Zambia. And they realize that the teachers are not enough. In 2 years, the Ministry of Education wanted to add teachers to the payroll. They added 40,000 teachers. In 2 years. For no teacher, yeah, of course, their schools, their smallest schools will be like 3,000 children. Their smallest primary schools will be 3,000 children, because they have schools where in one school, the school will be like a whole village. It is they have the primary school, the nursery, the primary school, the junior secondary school, it's all in one area. By the time you put all of it together, they are like 3,000 children. But no teacher is, if you are caught from college, you enter into a school without going to the registration and license unit of the ministry to sit to the license and get your license before you go to class. When they catch you in their classrooms without a license, you go to jail for 2 years. You go to jail. Whether you teach well or you do not teach well, the fact that you are in class without a license, you go to jail for 2 years. So, and that's why their level of education and their standards is a little higher. And we want to catch up with them. I am part of the facilitators now. I am humbled by the fact that I am part of the facilitators for the African Federation of Teacher Regulatory Agencies, AFTRA. I am part of the facilitators across Africa. So when we compare, and sometimes when I sit down and run our meetings, and I sit down and listen to what is happening in other countries, I banish what is happening in Sierra Leone because I want to stand tall. But my mind is telling me, this will just add up. But we will reach there. Mr. President, please read for me a portion as I want us to discuss. Read the text.
Renewal, license renewal. Teacher and school leader license must be renewed every 3 years. The TSC is responsible for registering and licensing teachers and school leaders. To renew the license, a school leader must complete a license form and attach a copy of his registration certificate, together with the expired license. School leaders must pay for their license as stipulated by the cabinet. The price is determined by the level on the career progression. New teacher, proficient teacher, highly accomplished teacher, and distinguished teacher.
There are not the rules, eh?
Yeah.
The rules of what you expect and this of what you get to be. Those are the So, quiet please.
Let's have it quiet, please. To qualify for renewal of license and maintenance of name in the register of professional teachers, are we together, please? To qualify for renewal of license and maintenance of name in the register of professional teachers, the school leader should comply with the performance standard stipulated for his or her category, showing evidence of compliance through effective quality assurance functions such as 1. Effective supervision of teachers and teaching learning activities. Ensure adequate implementation of the curriculum of syllabus and their actual coverage. Ensure the availability and appropriate use of learning materials or resources by teachers. Ensure conducive teaching and learner-friendly environment in the school.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Why did I ask Mr. Koyate to read that part? Everybody who is a teacher, except if you don't want to go to another level, you have to do that exams and pass it. We did a test case and we placed teachers. Unconsciously, they didn't know that. They were class 6 teachers. They were class 6 teachers. But they never knew they were going to take the same questions that the children took at MPSC. We had 100 of them. We had 100 class 6 teachers. They were a mixed blend of urban, semi-urban, rural areas and the city, all put together 100. And we gave them the same question. We only extracted the questions and put them on an A4 paper as normal questions. But they are the same questions that we have in the MPSC. 63 did not pass. 63 did not score 50. I am not making this up. So if we have more than half of a sample not passing the exams for class 6, to which they are teachers and they are the ones preparing the children to pass, you have to know what we call the name of that principle. You cannot give what you do not have. As you stand there, if I tell you give me 15 notes, if you don't get an iPod, let them tell you my number. Similarly, so with knowledge, if people stand in front of you to teach them and you don't have that knowledge in your head, you cannot pass that knowledge. So we want to ensure that we vet our teachers and ensure that they are fit for purpose in our schools. So every teacher is going to pass through that exams. They are going to pass through that exams. When you have passed through the exams and you happen to be a school leader, just like driver's license, just like who kind of writer, do they give you the license for 10 years? You renew your license. Are you together? Are we together? We have teachers who the only time they have read actual our book, effective reading, was when they were sitting comprehensive exam in college. After that comprehensive, for when they don't have a good say, hand over dissertation. You have fun. Yeah, never open it.
That's true.
So when you have a teacher of that nature who does not even look at a paper by mistake, they have inherited the notes in their class from their predecessors. They have their lesson notes already written for them in a book. When they are ready to go and teach, they just open that book and then transfer the lesson notes from the old book to the new book. If the old book is saying the Gold Coast, they will still write the Gold Coast and will not change it to Ghana. Because nothing in their brain has been changed. So we want to make sure we are up to standard. So even when you're a school leaders by the way, school leaders, you have to take the exams. Because if you do not take the exams until 3 years elapse, that will be the time we will expect that you don't take the first license, your license will expire after 3 years. Because our timeline for all teachers to have attempted the exams once will be 2025. So by 2025, if you are a school leader now, you have not taken the exams, no problem, we don't have a problem with you. You are a school leader, no problem. 2026, 2027, 2028, we will expect that if you have taken the exams, your license will have expired by that time. So we'll come back to ask for a renewal of the license. If you do not have a license, and there is an equally qualified teacher in that school who has a license and has passed, he becomes the head in the school leader in that school. Oh yes, he becomes the school leader in that school. Not to be so, it's the policy. So for us to move into that trajectory, that is why we want to ensure that all of our heads of schools are substantive. All man will be substantive. That business of acting, we don't want it again. No!
Club teachers. I regret for going to
So we have a point. What is this point? And what are we saying?
Look like it's getting old.
That we are now, in fact, the reason why I am here,
We're not there for soccer.
not only I
Very
like
nice, no more.
I am here because I have lagged behind in my work. Because I am supposed to have sent this information to you people long ago, but again there was the delay in the validation of this policy before I get on to you. And now they have asked us to ensure that we get our vacancies as quickly as possible, and the time is, in fact, the time not pass. So I'm trying to catch up with time. That's why I am working today on a Saturday. Working. What is the timeline? Every recruitment, and then let's go to the timeline, it explains itself. This is, I extracted this one from the policy and the email that was sent to us by the minister. Yeah? The email that was sent to us by the minister. So I extracted it from the policy. What does it say? It says that every school has to go through and bring up their leadership requests. Here we say, request for permission to advertise the vacancy. So when you are in a school where there is currently an acting head teacher, or an acting deputy head teacher, or an acting principal, or an acting vice principal, in that school there is already a vacancy. Because that position is vacant. That is why you have people acting in those capacities. They are not appointed to those positions. So there is a vacancy in that school. All the schools that have acting capacities, they are all vacant schools. Their leadership is vacant. So what are we doing? We are expecting requests. Requests are supposed to be sent in by the education secretaries, the mission heads, or the authorities that are having the school, not the acting teacher, the acting head. Because they are not even sure of your position after the interviews. Am I communicating? The request comes from either the education secretary, the board of governors representative, or the board chair in the case of secondary school, the SMC chair in the case of a primary school, the proprietor, the manager of school. They are the ones that will write one paragraph in not a copy letter. You address the letter to the secretary, Teaching Service Commission, 7 Priscilla Street, Freetown. After we don't put the school address, we don't put the school letterhead. And then you now write, request to advertise for position of principal and vice principal in the name of the school, state the school. Or request to advertise for the position of prime head teacher or deputy head teacher, then you state the school and the location of the school. Are we clear? You address that letter to the secretary. You copy the deputy director, Teaching Service Commission, and then you drop the letter at the TSC office. When I get the letter, we pass the letter with a cover note. Secretary, School A has requested and announced a vacancy. Kindly give permission for them to advertise. Are we together? This is the first part. We are supposed to have done this from the 16th of October to tomorrow, the 3rd of November. But we can shift to next week.
All over the country.
Are we together? Yes. So you see why I told you I am here, because we are lagging behind. The request for permission to advertise should come between the 16th of October to the 3rd of November. But I will still push and ensure that headquarters know that we are lagging behind, and we have up to the end of next week to make our requests. Clear? The next stage, granting permission to advertise. I just explained that. Because you will have sent your letter, and the moment your letter comes in, we will pass it straight to secretary, either by telephone call, or by email, or by whatever it means. Secretary, this school, they have a vacancy and they want to advertise. They want to make their principals, or they want to get substantive heads. Secretary will say, okay, Victor, Didi, vet them and see if there is need for this vacancy. Let them go ahead and advertise. What do we vet? Whilst you are sending your application or your request, attach your school approval letter. Because I have to be sure that the school is advertising for a principal or a head teacher is a government approved school. Are we together? So you attach the school approval letter to it. If you do not have it, let us know. As long as we do not have it, if you do not have it but you already are in the list of schools that are receiving subsidy, or you are recognized, or whatever it is an approved school, we will ask for an attestation of the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. Right? They will give you an establishment form and it will be vetted. We just want evidence of the fact that your school is approved. It can be from the F4 and MBSSE. The MBSSE PD can give you the establishment form or anything that will show that you are part of the recognized school and are approved.
Yeah, there are a lot of the schools that were approved before 2010. I know we don't have, but we have vouchers. If you have vouchers, then give us the voucher. If you have a copy of your voucher, because an approved school is definitely one that has a voucher. Every school that has a voucher and a seat number, attach a copy of your voucher together with your seat number. That is proof. I just want a proof of evidence that your school is approved. It's not my word of mouth. Yes, sir.
Yes, like what you have said. From 2018.
From 2018, I
don't come with the approval by gratification in our office. But there are schools have approval letters.
That is why we are saying MBSSE is going to be the source. Anything that has to do with establishment of schools prior to 2018 and thereabout, you go to MBSSE, you will give you proof that you attach to your letter. Okay? Because for the 80s. Alright. And then, once it is done, you advertise the vacancy. Your vacancy should be advertised in either your radio stations. Your vacancies should be advertised
advertised on your local radio stations.
Where's in the
It should be advertised in at least
school leadership gets info?
2 newspapers.
That is the one they
You will find a way.
right to
Yeah.
You advertise. Give us evidence of the fact that you have
I think they
advertised.
advertise, yeah.
The reason why
our responsibility because
we
we
do
now
not
the
want
man
a
primary
situation where you tell us you
and
have
it's up now
advertised
for the day.
and your advertisement is a whisper. John, these business are not still advertised that have applied that. So only have to apply. You don't have to be the people that are going to apply. They are going to apply.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We kindly want to appeal that you limit the advertisement to the local radio.
Limit it. We will limit it to a means that is locally available but with a mass coverage. Mass coverage. Yeah? A mass coverage. Locally available but with a mass coverage. Preschools will come to that. I'll have to seek clarification on that. Both primary and secondary, we are dealing with them.
Yes, please.
Okay, so are we together? We are here, right? After that, we come to the next stage. So this advertisement stage, it should run from the 9th to the 22nd of November. The date might be shifted. But for now, before I came to this meeting, the policy states that the advertisement should run from the 9th to the 22nd of November. Where anybody who hears about the vacancy, even if the person is in both districts, and the vacancy is for SLB by 91, and the person is interested, the person should apply as long as the person is qualified. I should not be limited. Okay? All right. Okay. All right. We go to the next stage. The next stage is shortlisting of applicants. Now, please let me please bear with me. Let me go a little step further. Here there are notes I did not quite take into account. The notes here for permission for advertise, I explained that already. The TSCPD should ensure that all requests for vacancy are advertised are logged. Check the school approval status. Don't accept requests from private schools. The request should be sent to the secretary via the TSCPD and copy the director of teacher management. These are what we've done. And then each district will receive a list of permitted schools to proceed with from the leadership recruitment process, their email. So when I will have sent everything to the secretary, for each district, we will just send a list or total list of schools that have been approved, and they are logged, and they say these schools are approved for participants. Okay? And then here, under advertisements, please listen, Mr. Creative. Use the set criteria for the position of vice principal and principals of the school leadership guidelines. Use at least 3 widely read media houses, print and electronics. A copy of advert be sent to the secretary, Soli I2A, AB Camara, and to be posted at the TSC website. So when you send a copy of your advertisements, a copy of it, how you advertise, the soft copy of it, that copy will be posted at the TSC website. Applicants use the TSC application form for the post of principal and vice principal. This form is available in all district TSC offices. I wanted to forget that part. Shortlist. Shortlisting is going to be from the 1st to the 15th of December. The Board of Governors of SMCs and TSC are going to be responsible for the shortlisting. We will send a list of all total applicants and those shortlisted to the secretary and the director of teacher management via email just after the exercise. And then the next stage is interviews. The interviews will be from the 16th of December to the 10th of January. We are going to face it out because we are going to be part of the interview. Myself, TSC, MSSC, we are going to be represented in all of the interviews. Yeah. So what are we going to be looking at? The DDTIC should develop a district timeline for interviews for each school in the district in consultation with the Board of Governors and the share it with the headquarters through an email. Board of Governors should conduct interviews and must make written comments on each response per interviewee. Okay, this is just what is going to happen for the interview. So we are going to have a detailed interview for all categories: principals, vice principals, head teachers, and deputy head teachers. Feedback. You will, after interviews, the ministry will provide feedback for the interviews from the 13th of January to the 24th of January. You should have had your feedback. For those that have succeeded and those that have not succeeded, you will get a feedback. Right? They will review, the headquarters will review the recommendations and reject all recommendation and approve or reject the candidates. If the recommended candidate is rejected, TSC and conduct directors must make another recommendation, even if this means undertaking another round of interviews. Then appointments. We will be giving appointment letters to all of these persons that have gone through this stage from the 26th of January to the 31st of January. All appointment letters will have reached these persons. Appointment letters will indicate effective date of appointment as agreed by the Ministry of Finance. We will update the useful candidates file with records. The next stage after that one will be upload into the payroll the moment you get a letter from the TSC. The next stage is for us to update your grade because your grade now changes from grade 6 or 7 or 8